Ladies and gentlemen, they are slowly trying to push this opioid plague on the Hispanic community. It's almost like on a regular basis, I am now seeing these stories. This one came out May 21st, 2018 on News Channel 5 Network. Hispanic community sees rise in opioid deaths. We're going to go ahead and play this video.
New at 6:30 tonight, the opioid crisis. It continues to infiltrate families everywhere.
Across the board, opioid-related deaths are up. With fentanyl and heroin in the picture, News Channel 5's Matthew Torres says it's exposing a new face to the ongoing epidemic.
At 10%, the Hispanic population makes up the third largest population in Nashville. Across the country, members say they are facing many challenges. The most eye-opening likely could be the opioid epidemic. It was a rally to battle the so-called Sanctuary City bill. Now that it's law, advocates fear it would halt immigrants from reporting to law enforcement. It can be one reason why others are not coming forward for a different battle.
There's so much fear these days with, being sent back.
Annette Silva fights for opioid addicts to find help, especially within the Hispanic community. Her own family member has become one of the statistics.
She is now on heroin, lost her 4 kids, both her and her husband, and they're missing somewhere in Arizona.
Recent numbers from the CDC showed whites still lead the opioid death toll, but the Hispanic community is seeing quite the surge in drug overdoses. Heroin deaths went up by 22% between 2015 and 2016. Deaths involving synthetic opioids like fentanyl went up by 200% within the same time frame.
It doesn't surprise me. We're brought up to what happens in the home stays in the home.
The issue becomes that the more you cut down on prescriptions, people end up using things that are illegal in order to manage an ongoing addiction.
Organizations say despite the macho culture, it comes down to treatment.
In the Hispanic community, there's a lot of people that don't know that they can get treatment.
Lack of insurance, education, and a language barrier can all be factors.
There is access to someone who, may speak Spanish, who can help translate what goes on in an activity or in a group or whatever. That's not the same quality, if you will, as if you are participating in your own language.
Tennessee is one of the states with a high uptick of deaths, a battle that proves to show no discrimination. In Nashville, Matthew Torres, News Channel 5.
Thanks, Matthew. In 2016, there were nearly 2,000 opioid-related overdose deaths in the state. Many people consider...
You see, it's rising among the Hispanics. They're really right behind white people now. As time goes on, the opioid plague is only getting worse. By now, it's no secret that the crisis managed to infiltrate families from different socioeconomic backgrounds, race, and culture. White Americans are still leading the opioid-related death toll, according to recent data from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, but there is a surge among different communities. Recent statistics showed drug overdoses killed 63,632. Remember, that's 22 states. That's not nationwide. With nearly 2/3 of them involving prescription or illicit opioids. Opioid-related deaths were up nearly across the board, including gender and age. A deeper look into the number exposed more opioid overdose deaths among Latinos in the country, surpassing whites in year-to-year growth thanks to heroin and fentanyl in the picture. It doesn't surprise me. So it goes over a lot of what was in the news video. There was a 32.6% increase from 2015 to 2016. In deaths involving opioids. Heroin deaths had a 21.7% increase. Meanwhile, synthetic opioids showed a 200% increase among Latinos. That is a huge jump, especially between 2015 and 2016. That's just 1 year. It went up 200%. Damn. That's pretty big. Okay, so it's pretty much saying, and I get this in most of the articles I read, that Hispanics are even less likely to reach out for help when they're addicted to drugs. And, you know, they're saying it's a lack of education, lack of insurance. And I know one article I did before a few weeks ago said it was a language barrier. And this one is pretty much saying the same thing. You know, they sometimes go to a treatment center and there's no one there Spanish speaking. So this one is pretty much saying the same thing. So in 2016, there were 1,186 opioid-related overdose deaths in Tennessee. Deaths from heroin overdose have increased since 2010 from 17 to 260 deaths, according to the state. So there you go. It's growing among Hispanics. I know this was an article I did a few weeks ago, and it was out of Philly. Another one was out of Connecticut saying the same thing, but they are now increasing. And I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the year, they are neck and neck with white people. But really, technically, shouldn't they be classified that way? Don't they count Latinos as white in the census? So maybe they should be lumped together with them anyway. Please tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell. If you can support my channel, please do, and I will see you on the next video. Peace, family.